Today we're kicking off a little bit of a fall reset. The weather hasn't really changed yet here, but the leaves are changing, and that is enough for me. We have the AC on, so it feels like fall inside, even though it doesn't really feel like fall outside. But regardless of the weather, my mind and soul are ready for this season and for a fresh start. This summer, I had very little structure and life was really all over the place. Some of that was my own doing, some of it was not. There were wonderful things about it and there were hard things about it, but ultimately, I'm really focusing on establishing habits and rhythms in my life. I've shared a bit in some of my slow living videos that I spent a lot of time kind of unlearning some routine when I first explored the idea of simplifying my life, and I think that was really important for me and really good for me. But now I kind of want to start reintegrating a little bit of routine and hopefully find kind of a balance where I can have more structure, more consistency in my life without it controlling me. Getting my life together, but like make it soft living. And we're kicking that off with the start of a new season. Today, I really want to focus on creating a vision for these next few months. So if you were doing any kind of a life reset this fall and you're looking for some inspiration, or if you just want to watch some kind of like fun, vibey fall clips, then make yourself a coffee or a cup of tea. Lately, I have been on a chai tea kick. It is so good for fall. Maybe throw in some of those little Pillsbury pumpkin cookies and let's hang out. I am currently on the hunt for pictures for my fall vision board. And this year I'm taking a little bit of a different approach. I was watching a video a while ago from Megan Acuna, and she was talking about how for her vision boards, she will specifically look up images on Pinterest of things that she's planning to do in that season to kind of romanticize the things she knows she has coming up. That way, when you're actually living out the experience, it feels like, oh my gosh, I'm checking something off on my vision board. I have tended to almost take the opposite approach where I would find pictures of things I wanted to do, even if they were really unrealistic, and kind of make those my goals. But I love that idea of just romanticizing what your life actually looks like. So I want to start with that. Looking up things like chai lattes, because I'm probably gonna have one every single day this fall, and reading, which is something I always do a ton of this time of year. I also want to specifically look up some photos for like rainy days or kind of some maybe less than nice weather days, because that's when I tend to struggle a little bit more with my just mental health, and the lack of sunshine definitely affects me. So I want to, as much as possible, kind of give myself something to look forward to and enjoy in those days. I just thought that that was such an interesting and helpful perspective. So this is my first time doing that. I have collected all of the photos that I think I'm gonna be using for my vision board, but I just looked at the clock and I think I'm gonna wait to put them together and actually create it because I wanna get dinner started. Tonight I'm making grilled cheese and tomato soup because it's fall, it's cozy comfort food. I made some fresh bread earlier this week, so we'll use that for the grilled cheese. But I have never made tomato soup from scratch before, so I'm really excited. I have a bunch of tomatoes from our farm share and then some from my in-laws' garden, so I'm gonna be combining those to make our tomato soup. I have a few different variations. I'm hoping that that's not a problem, but I'm really excited. I think it's gonna be so good, and it just feels like the perfect dish to enjoy tonight. I am so incredibly happy with how this soup turned out. Once I got into it, I wasn't 100% sure just since my tomatoes were quite an assortment of types, and I didn't have exactly the right amount that the recipe called for, but it ended up being delicious. It left me very inspired and excited to make it again, and the recipe was super easy, so I will definitely link that in the description if you want to give it a go as well. It has been a couple of days and I officially finished the vision board. I'm so happy with how it turned out. Each of these little photos are beautiful, and they also each carry a reminder for me about something that I want to incorporate into this season. The simmer pot is both a practical thing I want to start doing more often and also just a representation of how I want to be caring for my home. I've been really feeling encouraged and motivated lately to just keep our home not only feeling clean, but also an enjoyable space to be a part of. The next video you see from me actually will be about creating functional household systems to keep our home kind of maintained. I got my rainy day photo, a couple of baking photos. That's something that I love to do year round, particularly in the fall and winter when I'm not going outside as much. I find it to be a really grounding physical task and hobby that I can do. There's something so sweet to me about just physically creating something with my hands, and when I can make something that my loved ones I know are actually gonna really enjoy as well, that just feels extra special. I also just loved this little to-do list that I found on Pinterest. It says to do make art, drink coffee, read books, and bake cookies. It just feels like a good reminder that, well, of course my average daily to-do list is gonna look a little bit different than that. I don't need to overcomplicate or overstuff my life. Now, to take a little bit of inspiration from my vision board, I am going to create my first ever simmer pot. I have been wanting to try one of these for so long and just haven't gotten around to it. So today we are going to make a little fall smelling simmer pot, chop up some good stuff, and just let that fill our house with the scent of fall. I love that this is completely non-toxic. We can compost everything we use and still feel like we are bringing in and celebrating this season. I'm also going to throw on the audiobook I'm currently listening to. Every fall, I go through a phase where I'm really into audiobooks, and specifically like mystery thriller audiobooks, like Lisa Jewell, anything, all over it. I'm currently listening to I Found You by Lisa Jewell, which has been really good so far. And I'm gonna throw that on while I get that going.
She's wide. I need to get her. Her fingers pulled in his arm and it was wrapped tight across her chest.
After starting the simmer pot, which, side note, smells absolutely incredible, I highly recommend this recipe, I sat down to do some fall journaling. It's been a long time since I did any kind of seasonal goals or reflecting, and this was really, really nice. I didn't overthink it. I just kind of made a little bit of a brain dump and wrote out all the goals I am hoping to accomplish this fall. I also started a bucket list, which only has a few things on it, but they're all things that I'm really looking forward to. I also spontaneously decided to actually start a new spread and kind of write out some of the daily routines and habits that I'm introducing this year. As you can tell, there's not really a lot on this page. While I didn't show all of the details, I made frequent use of the term ish at the end of timeframes or tasks that I'm trying to introduce more regularly, because your girl is really trying to get the accountability of that structure without allowing it to destroy my self-esteem or keep me from embracing flexibility. I just finished up a little fall journaling session, so I figured I would share some of the things that I jotted down. Some goals I'm working on this fall are journaling more consistently, creating a functional home maintenance routine. I think I mentioned this earlier, but I'm actually gonna be filming a video on that and I'm starting that tomorrow. So I need to get my ish together. Also just getting a better handle on our budget because I've kind of been dropping the ball there. Not necessarily with like overspending, but just like not tracking. I wanna bake something fun once a week. I wanna create a gratitude board. This is something I've been wanting to do for so long. I was sitting in church months ago and I just had this image pop into my head of this fabric covered bulletin board with photos hung up onto it. But instead of it just being like, this is maybe a fun memory or just a picture that I like, very intentional, like the documenting of moments that feel like tangible proof of love and grace in the world. Those moments that just hit you and you're like, holy crap, like just overwhelmed with gratitude for. I feel like I've been so blessed this year with a lot of those moments, and I know that life kind of goes in cycles like that, and there are gonna be times where I'm not gonna feel that way. So I wanna print out photos, images, and words that remind me of that and actually have it up on the wall in our bedroom so I can look at it every day. I just wanna have that there. I think that will be a really cool thing to look at every day. So I wanna do that. Now, I feel like it would be wrong to film any type of fall reset or fall vlog without doing some baking. So to end off this video, I'm gonna make some cinnamon rolls because I've been craving them this week. Zach is out right now at worship practice and I'm hoping to have them done, or at least like almost done by the time he gets home. I think that'd be fun for him to walk into. So I'm gonna get started. I had planned to sit down this morning and record an outro, but I actually woke up feeling pretty sick, so I'm just hopping in with a voiceover to say thank you so much for joining me today in this little fall reset. I had so much fun filming it. Making these videos for me is always just such a good push to actually do the little seasonal activities that I love so much, rather than just thinking about them. And it felt so good. I feel so excited for the season and just really ready for what's coming up. I think the next few months are gonna be pretty dang exciting and special, and I just can't wait to share them with you. So thank you all so much for being here. I really, really appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you have a good day because today is a good day to have a good day. And that's it. Bye.